Everyone, I want to talk to you about something that's deeply personal yet profoundly universal. Pain. We all experience it in different forms, whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual. But I'm here to tell you from the depths of my heart that pain is not a destination. It's a process, a momentary passage that leads to something greater, something better. What if I told you that your pain, the very thing that might feel like it's breaking you, could be the catalyst for your transformation? I know it sounds counterintuitive, and it's something we struggle to believe when we're in the midst of it, but let me share something with you. Pain doesn't define you. It's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. Imagine for a moment that everything you've experienced, the hurt, the heartbreak, the struggle, is not just a random event. It's not some cruel twist of fate. No, it's part of a much bigger picture. The pain you feel is a signal that change is coming, that you are being stretched, and that the life you've always dreamed of is on the other side. When we experience pain, it's easy to get lost in it. We begin to believe that it's a part of who we are, that it's a permanent fixture in our lives. But the truth is, pain is a teacher. It's a guide. It's showing us what we are ready to release, what we are ready to let go of. The life we are meant to live requires us to shed the old, the outdated, the limiting beliefs that no longer serve us. And that shedding process often doesn't feel easy. It feels like the opposite, in fact. It feels uncomfortable and even unbearable at times. But here's the secret. When we allow ourselves to move through that discomfort, when we trust that something better is on the other side, the transformation begins. To grow, it must be buried deep in the dark, damp soil. It experiences pressure, resistance, and the weight of the earth around it. But eventually, with time and perseverance, that seed breaks through the surface and begins to blossom into something beautiful. This is how your pain works. It pushes you down only to push you into the very place where you can break through into something new, something more aligned with your true self. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, how can my pain? How can something good come from this heartache, this loss, this trauma? And I understand. I've been there. It feels impossible when you're in the midst of the storm. But here's the thing. Pain, when viewed through the right lens, is not a punishment. It's a redirection. You see, the universe, God, or whatever higher power you believe in, is constantly working for your highest good. And that means everything, even the most difficult moments, is working in your favor. There's a saying that goes, God works in mysterious ways, and it's true. You may not understand the how or the why, but I assure you, your pain is being transmuted into something better, something more expansive. It's preparing you for a future you can't yet see, but one that will be more fulfilling, more joyful, and more in alignment with your soul. This is not just wishful thinking. This is a law of nature. When you shift your perception and begin to embrace the lessons that pain brings, you unlock the power within yourself to create change. You step into the driver's seat of your own life rather than remaining a passive passenger. The more you open your heart and mind, the more you will see that what seems like the end is really just the beginning. So what does this look like in practical terms? It looks like choosing to believe that every hardship is an opportunity. It looks like deciding to see your wounds as the places where healing can begin. It looks like shifting your energy from resistance to acceptance, from fear to faith. It's in the moments where you let go of what you thought you knew, and you surrender to the process, trusting that something better is coming. The most powerful people I know are not those who've never experienced pain. They are the ones who have endured it, faced it head on, and emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate because of it. Your pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to refine you. It's the pressure that shapes you into the person you were always meant to become. So today, I want you to make a promise to yourself that no matter what you're going through right now, no matter how deep the pain feels, you will trust that it is not the end. It is simply the beginning of something greater. God will replace your pain with something better. It might not come immediately, but I promise you, if you stay present, if you stay open, you will see it. You will feel it. The future is brighter than you can imagine, and it's just waiting for you to step into it. Pain is often seen as something to avoid, something we try to escape from at all costs. However, it can actually serve as a powerful catalyst for transformation. When we experience pain, we are forced to confront ourselves in ways we typically wouldn't. It's an experience that shakes us, unsettles our world, and creates an opportunity for deep introspection. Pain has a way of stripping us down to our core, forcing us to let go of old patterns, beliefs, and behaviors that no longer serve us. In these moments of vulnerability, we are presented with the choice to either remain stuck or to rise above and grow from the experience. Rather than viewing pain as something purely negative, we can begin to see it as the very thing that initiates change. When we're comfortable, we often don't question or challenge the status quo. But when we're faced with difficulty, discomfort, or heartache, we are pushed out of complacency and into action. Pain disrupts our routine, shakes our sense of security, and pushes us to reevaluate our lives. This discomfort is the fertile ground where real transformation begins. It's when we're at our lowest that we often find the deepest wells of strength and resilience within ourselves. Through pain, we learn what we're truly capable of, and it's in this process that our greatest growth occurs. This transformation isn't always immediate, and it often doesn't feel pleasant, but it is essential. Pain, in its own way, forces us to confront the areas of our lives that need healing, improvement, or change. It's not just an obstacle, it's a bridge to becoming the person we are meant to be. The discomfort we experience is the very thing that moves us forward, leading us to new possibilities, and ultimately a better version of ourselves. Pain does not define you. It refines you. This is an essential truth to understand, especially when we are going through difficult times. When pain strikes, it can feel overwhelming, and it's easy to fall into the belief that it is a reflection of our worth or identity. We might think, this is who I am now, someone in pain, and feel as though that pain has become a permanent part of our being. But in reality, pain is simply a part of our experience, not the entirety of who we are. It is a momentary condition, not a lifelong sentence. What pain truly does is refine us. It challenges our preconceived notions, forces us to rethink our limits, and shows us where we need to grow. It's like a forge that tempers steel. The heat, the pressure, the intensity, all of these elements are necessary to strengthen the metal. Likewise, pain sharpens us, helping us become stronger, more resilient, and more self-aware. It encourages us to examine the parts of ourselves that we might have neglected, allowing us to release old wounds, unhealthy attachments, and outdated beliefs. These things are like weights that prevent us from growing, and pain, in its strange way, provides the push we need to shed them. Instead of viewing pain as a sign of failure or weakness, we can see it as an opportunity for improvement. It's like a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. Every strike may be uncomfortable, but it brings the statue closer to its true form. In this same way, pain shapes us into the person we are meant to become. It refines our character, deepens our empathy, and builds our resilience, helping us evolve into a more complete and authentic version of ourselves. Every hardship is an opportunity for growth. Life is filled with challenges that at times seem insurmountable, whether we face personal losses, career setbacks, or emotional turmoil. It's easy to become consumed by the weight of these obstacles. We may feel overwhelmed, discouraged, or even defeated. But within each of these hardships lies the potential for growth. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It occurs when we are pushed outside our familiar boundaries, when we are forced to confront things that make us uncomfortable. Hardships present us with the chance to expand beyond our current limitations. The process of navigating through difficulties often brings out parts of ourselves that we didn't know existed. We tap into reservoirs of strength, resilience, and creativity that are activated only when we are faced with a challenge. When life tests us, it's like a pressure cooker. It may feel like too much at times, but when we come through, we are transformed, stronger, and more capable than before. At the heart of every hardship is a lesson, an opportunity to learn something new, not just about the world, but about ourselves. The key is to embrace the experience rather than resist it. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? We can begin to ask, what can I learn from this? How can this help me grow? Shifting our mindset in this way opens the door to personal evolution. Hardships challenge our perceptions, beliefs, and assumptions. And when we reflect on them, we realize that the struggles we face are not meant to break us. They are meant to shape us. Letting go of the old makes space for the new. This is a profound truth that many of us overlook during times of change or difficulty. Often, we hold on tightly to what we know, old habits, past relationships, outdated beliefs, because they offer a sense of security, even when they no longer serve us. We fear letting go, thinking that we may lose something important or that we won't be able to replace what we've left behind. But in reality, holding on to the past can prevent us from stepping into the fullness of our future. When we release what no longer aligns with our growth, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. Letting go isn't about abandonment or loss. It's about making room for something better. Whether it's an old belief that limits us, a toxic relationship that drains us, or a habit that keeps us stuck, we must recognize that by holding on, we are blocking the potential for new, healthier experiences. Our lives, like the spaces we inhabit, need room to breathe and evolve. If we are too crowded with things from the past, there's no space left for the new opportunities and blessings that are waiting for us. Releasing the old is an act of trust. It's trusting that what is meant for us will come and that we are worthy of something greater. Sometimes we don't even realize how much we are holding on to until we let go. The process of release often brings clarity, peace, and a sense of freedom. It allows us to move forward with an open heart and an open mind, ready to receive whatever new experiences, relationships, and growth are waiting just beyond the horizon. Pain is a teacher guiding you towards something better. Often when we're in the midst of suffering, it feels as though we are lost in an endless cycle with no way out. It's easy to become consumed by the weight of our emotions, the difficulty of our situation, and the overwhelming sense of hopelessness that can accompany pain. But if we look deeper, we can begin to see that pain is not merely something to endure. It is something to learn from. It carries lessons that, if we are open to receiving them, will guide us toward a higher understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Pain has a way of getting our attention in ways that comfort never can. It disrupts our routines, challenges our beliefs, and forces us to examine areas of our lives that we may have neglected or avoided. Whether it's emotional, physical, or mental pain, it often serves as a wake-up call, alerting us to the fact that something needs to change. It may not be easy, but pain reveals to us the parts of ourselves that need healing, growth, or transformation. It helps us to uncover the patterns, behaviors, or attachments that are keeping us stuck, limiting us from fully embracing our potential. Instead of seeing pain as an enemy, we can begin to view it as a guide. It leads us to deeper wisdom, greater empathy, and a more authentic connection to our true selves. Pain clears away the distractions, forcing us to focus on what truly matters. In this way, it prepares us for something better, a life that is more aligned with our purpose, a future that holds more peace, fulfillment, and joy than we could have imagined when we were lost in the struggle. Trust in the process of healing and change. This is one of the most powerful mindsets we can adopt when navigating through periods of difficulty. Healing, whether emotional, physical, or spiritual, is not always immediate, nor is it linear. We often expect quick fixes or immediate relief, but the truth is that healing is a journey that unfolds gradually, often in ways we don't fully understand at the time. The process of change, though challenging, is necessary for growth, and it requires patience and trust. When we're in pain or facing hardship, it's easy to feel stuck, wondering if things will ever get better. In those moments, the uncertainty can be paralyzing. We may question if we'll ever heal or if things will ever change for the better. However, healing requires us to surrender to the process, to trust that we are moving in the right direction, even when the path is unclear. Just as a wound takes time to heal, so does the heart and mind. The body and spirit need space to recover and rejuvenate, and this can only happen if we trust in the natural rhythm of healing. The process of change may not always make sense in the moment. Sometimes it feels as if we are taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But in these moments, it's important to remember that progress is still progress, no matter how slow it may seem. Trusting the process means letting go of the need to control every outcome and allowing ourselves to fully experience the unfolding of our growth. When we do this, we begin to see that even the difficult, uncomfortable parts of our journey have purpose and meaning, moving us toward a more complete and empowered version of ourselves. The universe, or God works for your highest good. This truth is often difficult to grasp, especially during moments of struggle or hardship. When we're going through difficult times, it's easy to feel as though we're alone, as if the world is conspiring against us. We may question why things are happening the way they are, or wonder if we're being punished. But what if everything, even the challenges and pain, was actually a part of a greater plan that was designed to lead us to something better? The belief that the universe or a higher power is working for our highest good invites us to trust that everything happens for a reason, even when we can't immediately see it. In moments of difficulty, we are often presented with the opportunity to grow, learn, and evolve. What seems like a setback in the moment may, in fact, be an essential part of a larger picture. The universe doesn't make mistakes. Everything is interconnected, and every experience serves a purpose. Even the most painful events in our lives are designed to shape us, to refine us, and to guide us toward greater wisdom and understanding. This perspective requires faith. Faith that we are not victims of random events, but active participants in a journey that is leading us toward our highest potential. Trusting that there is a bigger plan at play allows us to release fear, anxiety, and resistance. When we know that we are being guided by a force that wants the best for us, we can begin to embrace even the most challenging moments as opportunities for growth. We can begin to see them as stepping stones on our path toward a life filled with meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. Transformation often begins in the darkest moments. When we are in the depths of despair, overwhelmed by life's challenges, it can feel as though we're stuck in an endless night with no hope of seeing the light again. These moments can be isolating and frightening, and we may feel as though we are being crushed under the weight of our emotions or circumstances. But it's during these very times when everything seems to be falling apart that the seeds of transformation are often planted. The darkest moments are where we are forced to confront the deepest parts of ourselves. It is in the pain, the fear, and the uncertainty that we find the strength to rebuild, to reinvent, and to grow in ways we never imagined. This is because we are no longer in our comfort zones. The familiarity that once kept us safe has been disrupted, and we are compelled to stretch beyond what we thought were our limits. In those moments of hardship, we often discover our true resilience, our inner power, and the ability to overcome what we once believed was insurmountable. Transformation in the dark moments doesn't always feel like transformation. It may feel like struggle, confusion, or even despair. But like a seed growing underground before it breaks through the surface to the light, we are undergoing a process of change that is invisible to the eye, but necessary for our growth. Each moment of pain, each wave of fear, is a step toward a new beginning. What once seemed like an end is, in reality, the start of something new, something better, and something more aligned with our true self. The dark times are where we are refined, tested, and ultimately shaped into a version of ourselves that is stronger, wiser, and more capable of embracing the light that follows. Pain is temporary. What's coming is permanent and better. This statement serves as a powerful reminder that the challenges we face today are not forever. While it may feel like we're trapped in an endless cycle of suffering, we must remember that pain, no matter how intense, is a transient experience. It doesn't last forever, and it doesn't define us. It is a moment in time, a temporary part of our journey that eventually gives way to something far more enduring. The key to understanding this truth lies in recognizing that pain serves a purpose. It is a messenger, not a permanent state. It may force us to confront our vulnerabilities, challenge our assumptions, and push us to grow in ways we didn't know we were capable of. But just as the darkest night eventually gives way to the light of dawn, our pain eventually subsides, making room for new experiences, new opportunities, and new perspectives. In the midst of pain, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. We may become consumed by the hurt, frustrated by the weight, or discouraged by the length of our struggles. However, when we trust that this phase is temporary, we allow ourselves to shift our focus from the pain itself to what lies ahead. We begin to see beyond our current suffering and embrace the possibility that better days are coming. Days filled with more peace, joy, and fulfillment than we can even imagine right now. What's coming is not just a fleeting sense of relief. It's something more lasting, something that will align with our growth, purpose, and true potential. When we understand that pain is temporary and that better things are ahead, we find the strength to persevere and the hope to keep moving forward. Your breakthrough lies on the other side of your pain. This idea may seem difficult to grasp when we are in the midst of suffering, but it is a powerful truth. Pain, whether emotional, physical, or psychological, has a way of pushing us to the edge, testing our limits and forcing us to confront aspects of ourselves that we would rather avoid. In these moments of hardship, it can be hard to see beyond the pain. But if we shift our perspective, we can begin to recognize that the very thing we fear is the doorway to something greater. Often, we resist pain because it feels unbearable, and we want to escape it as quickly as possible. But the real transformation comes when we allow ourselves to sit with it, to learn from it, and to embrace the lessons it has to offer. Pain has a unique way of breaking down the walls we've built around ourselves, exposing the areas that need healing and growth. It forces us to evolve, to step outside of our comfort zones, and to make choices that are more aligned with our true selves. On the other side of pain is the opportunity for profound change. It's in those moments when we feel we can't go any further that we often experience the most significant breakthroughs. The pressure, the discomfort, the vulnerability. These are the very conditions that prepare us for the success, the joy, and the peace that await us. Our growth happens not in the absence of struggle, but through it. When we face pain head-on and allow it to shape us rather than break us, we unlock the door to a future filled with possibility and fulfillment, one that we couldn't have reached without first enduring the trials we faced.